Hi everyone, welcome to today's reading. So today's reading, I'll be doing a February 2022 reading. I will not be doing predictions, just a disclaimer. I am doing more of advice, reminder, or messages that you need to keep in mind for, oops, that is my cat making an entrance, for the month of February of 2022. Hi, say hi. So the first, there are 4 crystals for you to choose from. So I decided to use crystal for this one. So the first crystal that you have is this one, which is the green Aventurine. And then you have the second one, which is Carnelian. And then this is the third one, which is Sodalite. And the fourth one, which is the Amethyst. So those are the 4 piles that you will be choosing from. Okay, hello, my name is Ali. And let me just show you a close-up of it so that you can see it up close. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so it doesn't focus. I have problem making this camera focus. Well, it's not even a camera, it's actually a webcam. So this is the first one, which is the green Aventurine, which I'm not sure. I don't think it is focusing. Unfortunately, I am terrible at this. I don't know how to make it focus. Focus for me, please. It doesn't work. All right, so this is the green Aventurine stone, which, there you go, a little bit. Yeah, so there you go. So that's the green Aventurine for group 1. And this is the second one, which is Carnelian. So this is the second stone. Again, I'm not sure if it's focusing. I don't think it is. I think it's focusing to my body at the back, but not the stone, which is so weird. And then this is the third pile, which is Sodalite. And then we have Amethyst. So this is an Amethyst stone as the 4th pile. So you can take as much time as you need to choose which pile you most resonate with. And I will see you in your respective pile. See you. Hi, group 1. So in this particular video, we're going to be looking into messages or advices for the month of February 2022. And just to warn you that my cat is having a little zoomies in the background, so you might hear a lot of noise. And he might jump on the table at some point. He always does that. So for February, I'm not really doing much on predictions because I think that you have the free will or the power to shape your own future. But what I'm trying to more focus on is messages and advices that you can take and keep in mind for the month of February 2022. Now, just a reminder that this is a general reading. This is not a personal reading. So not everything that I say in this reading will resonate to you, and you don't have to take all of the messages that I'm going to tell you in this video. I just want to advise you to use your intuition. If your intuition say that this message is for you, then you can take it. If not, then you don't have to take it. All right. So without delay, let's start the reading for your month of February. So if you choose this green Aventurine, then this is your pile. I probably should have started with that one first. Sorry, but this is the green Aventurine. So this is the stone that you choose. Is it not focusing? Oh, there you go. So I'm just gonna put that right there. So I pre-shuffled a couple of cards because I'm going to use a lot of cards today. So just to save some time, so I decided to pre-shuffle this. So I have this represent the major energy of the February, the month of February. So the first one that we have is the Sun card. Okay, so that is the Sun card. And another one that we have is, oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. So Xochitl or something. So this is a goddess. If I'm not mistaken, it is an Aztec goddess. Is it not focusing? So at the bottom there, it's a gratitude. So it is Xochitl. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. So these two pretty much represent like the major message or the major energy that you should be in for the month of February. So with the Sun card, obviously I'm thinking about not just about finding joy, or not just about focusing on your joy. I'm also thinking about the inner child, because obviously you have a baby there in this card. So I'm also looking at this as a reminder to pay attention to your inner child's need. What brings your inner child's joy, something that can make you feel a little bit more youthful. That is something that I'm also picking up from this card, apart from paying attention to the joy that is already exists in your life throughout the month of February. And I think it ties in really well with this gratitude card over here. And I think this card is also trying to remind you that for the month of February, maybe it's a good idea to actually pay attention to the blessings that's already there in your life. I know that sometimes, especially when we're going through some difficult challenges in life, so it feels like there's not much to enjoy or appreciate in our life when we are in that kind of energy. So I think that this two card is a reminder or an advice in a way for you for a big portion of your February, or the general tone of your February is to focus on the blessings or the joys that already exist in your life and show gratitude towards those, and also to just pay attention to the needs of your inner child, on what makes your inner child happy, and try to fulfill some aspects of that. So whenever that is possible, or wherever that is within your area of control to bring that joy into your life for your inner child, I think you should consider doing that. So this too is, I think, is the general energy for you to be aware of, or to remind yourself throughout the month of February. So I'm going to put this to this, maybe this side. I'm going to put this to the side first while we go through. Do we have enough space? Yeah. Or maybe I should just, sorry, I definitely didn't think this through. So, okay, so I'm just going to put that in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to go look into your tarot. So for the tarot aspect, I'm going to look into a few areas of your life for the month of February. So again, I am not looking for prediction, but I am looking more for possible advice or reminder or messages from your spirit guides or from your higher self about the month of February for that particular specific areas in your life. So I'm going to be looking into your relationships. So this could be romantic relationship, platonic relationship, like with friends or something like that, or it could also be with friends and colleagues, so any type of human connection that you have, that you have in your life. And then the second one that I'm going to be looking into is your career or studies. So depending if you are working, then it's going to be looking into your career. If you are studying, then it's going to be looking into your area of studies. Damn, that was a terrible shuffle. Yeah. Okay. And then we're also going to be looking into your spiritual, on your the spiritual aspect of your life. And then finally, it's just your general well-being as well. So let's start with the connections. first. Okay, so like the human connections that you have in your life. So it could be love life, it could be family, it could be friends, colleagues, you know, and all of those things, professional connection or romantic connection, platonic connection. So for group one, what is the general advice or message or reminders when it comes to their connection and relationships for the month of February? So you have the Queen of Wands. So I think it's not focusing, is it? Okay. Is it not? I don't know. I don't want to be like a beauty guru that does this, but I can't get it to focus. Never mind. So it's the Queen of Wands. Maybe it's slightly better this way. Yeah. So the Queen of Wands for your relationship. So I think it's really about, it's about confidence as well. I'm hearing confidence. That's like the first thing that I hear. Maybe you are finding or being reminded to find your confidence when it comes to your connections. Maybe you have been holding back on something, or maybe you have been feeling a bit hesitant about connection. Now, this might not be with every single person in your life. It could just mean that maybe in January you had some things that you've been holding back from certain people in your life, and you've been hiding something from it, or you're not being truthful, or you're not being completely honest. And I feel like the reason for that happening might be because of lack of confidence, or you're not sure how they're going to take it. And I feel like this card here, this Queen of Wands, is, I feel like it's more reminding you of the energy that you should be in. So I feel like for the month of February, it's about finding that confidence within you, finding the power within you, and not be fearful of something that you can't predict. Like you can see the Queen of Wands here, that how she is very much in her power, how she is confident, how she is standing strong, even though there's a volcano that's about to erupt at the back with all of the dark clouds clouding the sky. So it looks scary, but at the same time, she doesn't look bothered by it. Like she believes in her own power, and she knows that she can move past anything that's going to that is coming her way. And I think that is a really beautiful energy to be in. And I think this is a reminder or an advice for you to be in this kind of power, to be in this kind of energy for the month of February when it comes to your connection. So this, again, it could be romantic, it could be platonic, it could be professional relationship, where maybe for January you have a little bit of a hesitant in maybe coming clean about something, or being honest about something. Maybe someone in your life did something that's bothering you, but at the same time you don't want to say anything because you don't want to hurt their feelings. So it could be something like that. That's like a few things that I'm picking up on. So I feel like this is something that you can, this is the type of energy that you are being advised to be in, which is to just have the confidence, believe in your own power, believe in your own strength in a way, and know that there's fire within you that can overcome any kind of reaction that is coming from other people. Because at the end of the day, what's in your control is your own actions. Like how other people react to your actions, technically those are not in your control, and those are not a reflection of you as well. So I think that's the reminder, or that is the advice or the message that I'm getting for your relationship area. So take it how it resonate, and try to apply it to whatever connection in your life that you feel like, oh, I haven't been completely honest, or I haven't been completely upfront with this particular person. Now, what I'm guessing is that because of the hesitant that came in January, it led to it probably growing or escalating in February. So that's why maybe this card is coming up to remind you that that you have the fire within you to be in control of the situation, or be more honest or upfront about the situation. And I think that this is an advice or reminder to believe more in your own power, believe more in your own strength. And I think once you do that, you will actually have a lot of confidence to communicate whatever it is that you need to communicate whatever it is that is bothering you, or communicate whatever it is that you feel like you haven't completely able to communicate in the month of January. So I think this is something that you can try, okay, for the month of February. Now let's go on to the next one, which is the area of your career or studies. Okay, so depending on whether you are working already, or if you are still studying, or you might be working and studying at the same time. So let's see, for group 1, what is the message or reminder or advice in terms of their career and or studies? Okay, so you have 4 of coins here. So for the card, for this particular card, for 4 of coins, this is, I think, is a very unique design in its own way, where you can see that there is this lady in the middle here, and she has these 4 coins around here. So this is 4 pentacles, by the way, and with this giant bird at the back of just kind of like overbearing, like I don't want to say overprotective, because it doesn't look like overprotective, more like trying to, I won't say shield, I won't say shield either, but it's just like, it just feels like overbearing or controlling too much, or trying to restrict whatever movement that you have. So I feel like this is the kind of energy that you might be feeling, or you might be feeling this already, where you feel like you don't have a lot of freedom at work, or you might feel like you are a bit like walking on eggshells a little bit, just based on how worried her expression is. Oops. Just based on how worried her expression is, it looks like she is worried that if she makes the wrong move, and it's just going to be a lot of problem. And I feel like that is probably the energy that you are in right now. So I think like this is a reminder for you that this is probably still going to go on in February, where you might feel like a little bit restricted, where you feel like, oh my God, I feel like someone is micromanaging me, or I feel like someone is watching my every move, or like I feel like someone is trying to be very picky and pick out on all of the every tiny little micro mistakes or imperfection that I make, and try to make my life a living hell because of it. So I feel like this is what you are focusing on. But I think there's an advice here about shifting your focus, because if you notice on this card, there's that shadow of a bird at the back. And I feel like I always think of this shadow of the bird here at the back as your guidance, as your lessons or something like that. Like you can take it as a lesson, or you can take it as a guidance, or you could take it as your intuition, depending on whichever resonates best for you. I feel like if you just shift your focus, you can actually see that there's actually guidance all the way within you all this time. Like your spirit guides or your higher self is trying to guide you, or even in a more 3D world, it could just be like maybe there's someone in your studies or in your work, or both, that is actually willing to help you, or willing to help guide you through this sticky situation. And I think the advice here is try to shift that focus into this bird here at the back, rather than this overbearing bird that's trying to limit your movement, or at least that's what you're projecting, or that's how you're seeing it. You feel like, oh, this energy that is limiting my movement or restricting my movement or taking away my freedom, and all of those things are blinding you from the birds here at the back, or the guidance that's there by either by your higher self, your spirit guide, or just by people around you that's trying to help you. And this giant bird that is hugging this woman not necessarily have to be a boss or a person. It could just be your stress. It could just be the level of your stress. Maybe you feel so stressed about your work that you feel like you have no time for yourself. You feel like your studies or your work is taking over everything, that you have no time to do anything for yourself. And I feel like this is a reminder that if you shift your focus, that is there all along, like that there's a guidance or advice waiting for you to notice them, and then you like notice there's like these beautiful flowers out here for you to enjoy, just if you step out from that stress zone and just focus on other things, and bringing you back into this two sun card and this gratitude card of noticing the blessing that is already in your life and focusing on the needs of your inner child, on what bring your inner child joy. So I feel like work or studies or both might be a bit of a overwhelming factor in the month of February, or it might already be might already is stressful at the moment and just going to continue on into February. But I feel like there's this advice of pay attention to things that are outside of that stress. So shift your focus a little bit out from this worries of being micromanaged or having so much to do that you feel like you have no time for yourself. I think like the advice here is to shift the focus and pay attention to something that can help you find balance, so that you don't feel like you are trapped inside the wings of this giant bird, so that you can still see what's around you and appreciate what is around you, which bringing me back to this sun card and gratitude card. So I think there's that advice for your career path or studies for the month of February. So this is the advice that I'm hearing, or the message, or even reminder that I'm hearing so far, and that might be something that you need to keep in mind for the month of February. Now, moving on to the third one, which is your, what did I say the third one is? Sorry. Spiritual, right? How's your spiritual aspects of your life in February? So for group one, how would your spiritual journey be? Now, it depends on if you are into the spirituality of like higher self and spirit guides and universe, law of attraction, or if you are a religious person in general, or whatever religion you are practicing. It really doesn't matter. For me, I usually group all of them as spirituality or having faith about something. So let's see, for your month of February, in the aspect of your spirituality or spiritual aspect, spiritual growth, what is the message or reminder or advice for people of group one? Oh, this is a nice card. You have Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is for your spiritual growth in a way. So Six of Cups is a very nice card for me, because I feel like it's a very good energy card, like a very positive card. And I feel like the energy that you're in spiritually, I feel like you are in a very emotionally giving energy, because you can see that how these neighbors are just being very loving with each other. And it's kind of like love your neighbor kind of like message over here that I'm seeing. And I'm, again, there's bird here as well. And I always look at bird as your higher self or your spirit guide, your spiritual team in general. And not to forget, I'm not sure if this is a crow or raven. I'm sure there's like a bird expert out there that will know if this is a raven or if this is a crow. But they are smart. Okay, raven and crow are smart. So I feel like this energy of giving or loving people around you or around in your community is going to be something that is not just divinely guided, but divinely blessed as well. Like, you're probably going to find yourself in a community around your spiritual community. Doesn't matter what is your spiritual beliefs. You're going to find a lot of love in your community. At least that's what I'm getting. And you're going to feel divinely blessed, and you're going to feel divinely guided into this community. So I think that for the month of February, you're going to have a lot of giving and receiving energy in a way. So it's a very loving energy, and I think it's not just people being nice to you, and I think it's also you being guided to be nice to others, to help others. There might be other people that are struggling with their spiritual growth, and you are there to help them, or you might have some difficulties with your spiritual growth, and there are other people that's willing to help you. And just know that whatever that is happening is all guided by your guides, by your higher self. And I think that this sort of energy is going to help you build a better relationship with your community, with your spiritual community especially. And I think that is going to also create a healthier bond between you and the people in your community. And I think that can actually help you bring a lot more joy into your life, or at least it's looking like it's going to bring a lot of joy into your life. And I'm being called to remind you again of this 2 card, because I feel like this energy here can help you a lot with these 2 cards of finding your joy, seeing your joy, and being grateful for the joy. So I think that with all of this wonderful, beautiful thing that is happening spiritually in the month of February, always remember to notice them and be grateful for them, and know that all of them are just spiritually blessed, like divinely guided, divinely, like a blessing from the universe, you could say. So I think that there is going to be a very beautiful month for you to create a healthier bond with your community in that spiritual, whatever spiritual faith or path that you are following. So very beautiful energy for your spiritual growth in February. I really like to see that, and I think it falls in line, like falls very beautifully with these 2 cards here that's supposed to be like your overall energy of the month of February. Now the last one is your well-being. Okay, so let's look at the well-being for your February for group 1. Okay, so for group 1's well-being, what is the message or reminder or advice for them for well-being? So the well-being could be mental, could be physical, could be emotional, whichever that will be relevant to you. It might be different for everyone, so I'll try to get as general of an interpretation as possible so that it can be applied to everyone. So let's see. For group 1, what is the advice or reminder for their well-being? That's my cat at the back saying hi. There he is. Wanna sit? Aw. He decided to join the reading while I shuffle. Hopefully he doesn't attack the card while I shuffle. Okay, group 1's, oh, there you go. So you have the Ace of Wands for this one. So I feel like you're going to be very creatively motivated in terms of your well-being. So again, this could be in terms of physical well-being. This could be in terms of, you want to hold it? You want to hold it? Nah. Ta-da. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. He's just too cute. So it could be in terms of your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, or your physical well-being, but I feel like there's going to be a creative spark on how you take care of yourself in February. Maybe you decided to try something new, or maybe you decided to try something different. Maybe you decided to experiment, like, what if I do yoga and paint at the same time? I don't know. I don't know if there's people that done that, but maybe you're like kind of like, I feel like that could be fun to do, and it could be something that I can do to de-stress. So I feel like your February, in terms of your well-being, I think that is going to be very creative. I think it's going to bring passion into your life. I think it's going to make you feel inspired, or the way you take care of yourself is going to bring inspiration and creative juice in your life. So I feel like if you take care of yourself, or if you pay attention to your well-being, I feel like it can help you with your creative spark. That's what I'm getting as well. So it could be one of those things. It could be that you might have inspiration on a new self-care routine. So you want to try things out and get creative, or it could be that your self-care routine that you already have is going to give you the creative spark on to pursue something like a creative thing. So maybe if you're a painter, maybe you, or maybe if you paint, doesn't matter if you an artist or if you just have the hobby of painting, that it might give you an idea of a new project that you want to do. Or if you're a musician, that you might be something that you want to learn or write. Or if you're a writer, then it might inspire you on something that you want to write. Or if you're a photographer or a videographer, then it gives you an idea of what sort of theme that you're going to go for next. So I really think that the well-being aspect is going to have some creative spark in February. So it's either you getting inspired from your existing self-care routine, or you getting the inspiration, creative inspiration on spicing up or changing up your self-care routine. So that is kind of like what I'm getting for your well-being in general. So I think that is an idea that you can keep in mind, like be open to it, I guess. Be open to possibly new ideas, or even watching other people do something and get inspired by that. So it could be on TikTok, it could be on Instagram, it could be among your friends, that when you see them do something and you kind of like, oh my God, that's so cool, I want to try that. And be open to that, because you never know that it might actually works better for your health in general. Doesn't matter mental, emotional, or physical health. So I think that be open to all of these new ideas that can help give you your creative spark. So that is what I'm seeing for your month of February. So before I finish off your reading, I'm going to just get a couple more cards to basically final advices, you could say, or final messages for the month of February that you can keep in mind. So I'm going to be using this Chakra Wisdom deck. So to get you an advice, and I'm going to pull another one from another deck, just like a final advice. So for group one, what are some final advice or reminder or messages for their month of February? So for group one, what is one of the final messages? There you go. Impartiality. Is that how you pronounce it? Impartiality. Yes, impartiality. So the gray color is the crown chakra. Oh, it's interesting because you can see that this woman here is holding a bucket with the word paint on it, and I was just talking about, you know, creative spark from the well-being area of your life for February. So again, that could be something that's a bit more significant. So it might not just be in terms of painting, it could just be something creative. Now, for all of the cards in this deck, there are actually stories behind each of the card. So just for the sake of giving you more context, I feel called to just read the story. It might actually resonate with some of you, I feel. So impartiality. So it's I quietly listen, allowing you to color your own palette. So again, I think it's just brought back to the creative spark. It just reminds me a lot about that. Now the story is Bahana Beige. Bahana is the wise dictator from the town of Beige. She is known for settling dispute fairly. One day, two neighbors are arguing about what color to paint their fence. Bahana gives each of them a can of paint and instructs them to paint their side of the fence the color that the other neighbor wants. She knows that when they can color their world in the love of their neighbor's eyes, they will understand and accept one another. Take an impartial look at your situation. The action here is to listen and observe. So I think that you are being called to kind of like look at things in many different direction or different perspective. And I feel like as I was reading that, I was actually called back into your career and studies area of your life. I feel like this impartiality is probably going to take this, like put you back into the situation where it can help you to take a different angle in your situation so that you can shift your focus a little bit more. And I think that and I think it's also the same for your relationship. It's interesting because I decided to put the card, this impartiality card, on top of the relationship and the career side. And I feel called to remind you about your relationship and your career side. So I don't think that's a coincidence. So I think that this impartiality card is about you being able to see things from different perspective, being able to be to communicate, open to shift your focus, open to see things from different angles or different perspective. Just be more guided to look at things differently, or to look at things without any judgment or anything like that. So I feel like you are being called to do that, especially in that two areas of your life. So I'm going to get one more card from one more deck, and then before we end the reading. So this will be the final advice or the final message for you for the month of February. So for group one, what is their final message for the month of February? So we get abundance. So for abundance, it says, I celebrate the abundance of this wild, rambling, decadent universe we live in. I see abundance everywhere and recognize that it's an amazing law of nature. And so there's no need to worry my idea well will ever run dry. I can let ideas flow like a gigantor waterfall and dream up new ones as I sleep under trillions of twinkling diamonds. Can you believe all this decadence is free? You can pause it if you want to read it. So again, this is again falls on top of this too, where it also calls you to be a bit more creative with your well-being. So I think it's talking about just And I think it also brings back to this gratitude card here with this Xochiquetzal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Xochiquetzal goddess here. I think it just reminds you that there are blessings around you everywhere. If you open your eyes to see it, if you look at different perspective or be more open to see things from different perspective, you might actually be able to see all of this abundance that's already there around you, and you will be able to feel more grateful about about life in general. And I think like that is what you're being called to do as well for this month, is just to know that your abundance is not going to dry off. So you don't have to worry about giving a little bit to your community, and you don't have to be afraid from getting inspired for creativity and try new things. So I think that for the month of February, there is a lot of message about being able to see the blessings that is already in your life, being able to appreciate the blessings that is already in your life, being able to see things from a different perspective and be open to that different perspective and allow yourself to be inspired by different things. So I think that is the message that I have for you, in particular, the group 1, if you choose this green aventurine, for the month of February of 2022. So I hope this reading resonates. I hope some of the messages here resonate for you, if not most of it. Thank you so much if you watch all the way to the end. I wish you all the best for your month of February. This is all that I have for you. If you feel like there's anyone that could benefit from this reading, then you should definitely share it with them. I would appreciate it a lot. If you have anything more to add about this reading, you can always leave a comment. I look forward to reading them. And if you enjoy this video, do give it a like. And if you want to see more video from me, you can always follow me on this channel or subscribe. That's the word, subscribe. Okay. All right, group 1, thank you so much for watching. I will see you until next time. Have a great week ahead. Bye. Hi, group 2. If you chose the Carnelian stone, then this is going to be your reading for the month of, for the month of February. So for the month of February, I'm going to be looking at more into the general advice or reminders or messages. It's not really a prediction, so I'm not really doing a prediction in this reading. It's more just advice and messages that you can keep in mind for the month of February of 2022. Now, just a reminder that this is a general reading. It is not a personal reading, so you might not resonate with everything that I have to say. Most importantly, you should always use your intuition when it comes to general reading. If your intuition says that this message is for you, then you can take it. If your intuition says that this message is not for you, then you don't have to take it. So just keep that in mind, because there's a lot of people that will be watching this, and not all of the message is going to resonate for everyone. Okay. All right, so for the month of February, I have this card, there's 2 cards that I pre-shuffled because I'm using quite a few decks in this reading. So to save time, I decided to pre-shuffle this first 2 cards. This will be the major energy / advice that you need to keep in mind throughout the month of February. So the first card that we have is the moon. Okay, so this is the first card, or this kind of like the energy that you need to keep in mind of. And the moon for me is all about intuition. Okay, it also about being spiritually guided, or being spiritually aware, or knowing that, you know, you might not know everything in your life, and know that the divine power is not going to lead you astray. That is still that it is about having that faith on things that you might not know about, like not everything that you know about, but you know that it's working for your highest good in a way. So I think that's like the general energy that you should keep in mind. Oh, and also another thing about the moon is also about inner, like inwards, like looking inwards. And then it's about your, I won't say psychic abilities, but if that resonate with you, then I guess you could take that like paying more attention to your psychic abilities. But if that is not something that you resonate with, it's more about looking inwards on your own strength or your own power, and coming back to the intuition, trying to build an intuition so that you be a bit more intuitive. Basically, well, it should be always, but I think the message here is stronger for February. And then the second card that you have is, I might pronounce this wrong, but Amaterasu. Amaterasu is a goddess. It's a Japanese goddess, if I'm not mistaken, more specifically Shinto, as in the origin. So Amaterasu. I don't know how to pronounce it in Japanese. Amaterasu. 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 I think that might not be correct, but that's what I'm reading from the card. Amaterasu. Amaterasu. Maybe. So at the bottom here, it says inner beauty. I don't know if it's focusing or not. Okay, inner beauty. So Amaterasu, inner beauty. So I think it matched with the moon message here of about looking inwards. So inner beauty, it's not just about you noticing or you paying attention to your inner beauty, but I think it's also about appreciating your inner beauty. So I feel like if you've had a tough January, if you've had a January where it's been an inner turmoil, where it feels like it's so difficult to just find that inner strength, I feel like February is calling you to appreciate your inner strength and your inner beauty. I think inner beauty is not just about looking beautiful from the inside. I think it could be that, but I also feel called to say that inner beauty could also mean your inner strength. And I think it's about, again, coming back to the moon card, I think this two card goes well together, which is just paying more attention to your, I feel called to say paying more attention to your feminine energy. So that means all of this, your emotion, your spirituality, your intuition. So I feel like that is an energy that you should pay attention to in this month of February. And I think that can help guide you a lot in terms of things that you need to keep in mind, things that you need in order to decide what is best for you throughout the month of February. So that is the general energy or the general advice for the entire month of February, which is to be more intuitive, to reflect inwards a little bit more, find that inner beauty, find that inner strength. So now I'm going to go on to your tarot card. So for your tarot card, I'm going to be looking at 4 areas in your life. The first area that I'm going to look at is your relationship. Now, this relationship can be like romantic relationship, can be platonic relationship. It can be with friends, colleagues, friends, professional relationship, any type of human connection that you have in your life. Okay, so that's basically what this particular area is referring to. And then we're going to be looking at career and or study. So if you are no longer studying and you're just working full time, then it's just going to be a career for you. If you are a student and you are only studying, you're not working, then it's going to be more about your studies. If you are both studying and working at the same time, then it can apply to both. Okay, so that will be the second area of your life that we'll be looking at. And then the third area is going to be your spiritual growth for February. Like, what is the spiritual aspect of February that will be relevant, like a message or advice or reminder. And then the last one will be your well-being. The well-being could be mental, emotional, or even physical well-being, depending on the cards that we get. So let's look at the first one, which is relationship. So for group two, what is the overall tone of their month of February for relationship? It can be platonic, it can be romantic, any type of human connection. What is the advice? What is the message? Oops, oh, there you, I'm gonna take that. So we have the Knight of Coins, also mean the Knight of Pentacles. So you can see, I think you're going to have some really solid connection in your life or improve connection in your life in February. But at the same time, it's not going to be fast. It's going to be stable but slow, like slow and steady kind of improvement in your connection. So I feel like it's also a good month to see which connection is not going to be long term, because it feels like for month of February, the advice here for you, or the message here for you, or even the reminder, because you might know this already, is that not everyone is meant to stay in your life for long term, and not everyone have the patience to take things slow and steady. So as I said, this could be with anyone, not necessarily romantic. And I think the advice here for you is to take things slowly. Don't rush into trying to please everyone. Don't rush into making decision or coming to conclusion when it comes to your connection. I think there's a message here about being a little bit rational, being a little bit strategic in a way, depending on if it's a professional relationship or if you are doing online dating or anything like that. I think there's that message of just taking things slow, taking things steady. And if it's something that is meant to last you for a long time, those relationship is going to grow into something that is very meaningful and very stable, and it's going to be one of the solid relationship that you're going to have moving forward from February. So I think like there's a message here for you that your connection in February can improve a lot, can be stronger, can be more solid, can be more reliable in the month of February, but only if you take things slowly. And if some of the relationship in your life fall out because you decided to take things slowly, then I guess there's that message of like those relationships aren't supposed to last anyway. So there's a reminder for you to not rush into don't jump into conclusion too soon without understanding the full situation. Be more rational, be more strategic in how you approach your connections in life for the month of February, and just be like a Taurus. I don't know, because I see the cow here, so it reminds me of Taurus. So I think it just needs to, you just need to take things slow. That like I'm hearing that very loud in my head. Like you just need to take things slow and steady. And slow and steady is the one that going to build the most solid foundation to any connections, regardless with family, friends, lovers, professional relationship. And I think from a solid foundation is where you can build trust with each other. And I think that is the message here is for you to take things slowly so you can build trust, especially if you are a person with trust issues. Then this message is probably even stronger for you to take things slowly, to allow things to develop at a slower pace so that it can build a stronger foundation to the relationship, and you will know for sure that whether or not you can trust this person. And if the relationship falls apart halfway through just because you take things slow, then just know that those connections are not supposed to be there long term. Like maybe it's supposed to teach you something, it's supposed to be a lesson in some way, and once that lesson is served, it's supposed to just frizzle out of your life. So just keep that in mind moving forward, okay, with your relationship, any type of relationship in the month of February. Moving on into the next area of your life, which is your career and or studies. So for group 2, what is the message? What is the advice? What is the reminder for them in the area of their career and studies, and or studies, depending with which category you fall under? So for group 2, what, oh goodness me, that's a lot of time. Okay, I'm not going to take all of them. Let me just, which one? Okay, I'm just going to reshuffle it because I don't know, it's just too many cards. I don't want that many. I'm just going to, oh my goodness. Oh my God, my cat just fell off the, I think my cat was dreaming about something and it just fell off. Literally this time and not falling in dream. So for group 2, what is the message, reminder, or advice for them for the month of February? Oh, we have the Hermit. So you have Hermit here for your career and or studies. So I feel like for the Hermit, there is definitely that advice of, I won't necessarily say solitude, but I am feeling called to put this back as well up front, which is looking inwards. So I feel like in terms of your career or studies or both, there is that advice to ask you to be a bit more, I'm hearing the word resilient, but also to do a lot of reflection about your situation. I don't know what that situation is. It could be that maybe exam is coming up, or it could be that you feel overwhelmed by the amount of work that you need to do or the amount of studies that you need to do. And I think there's that message of looking inwards to find your strength, looking inward to reflect on whether or not you are at the energy that is at your highest good or that can best serve you in overcome whatever it is that you're trying to overcome. So, and with this, I don't know, white stag here at the back is very much, I think, another spiritual being as well. Again, it brings me back to the moon card over here. I think it's also being spiritually guided, and allow yourself to be spiritually guided. Like, look inwards. Don't be afraid to look inwards. Don't be afraid to take that step and allow yourself to be guided. And I think this kind of things is something that you need to be able to do on your own. When it comes to your spiritual journey, there are a lot of people that can help you for sure. But our spiritual journey is quite individual, and sometimes you just have to take that first step by yourself before anyone else can help you and step in and help you. So I think there's definitely that message of not, or of allowing yourself to take that first step by yourself alone. So, but at the same time, you won't be completely alone because your spirit guide and higher self will be there for you. So I think that you need to reflect. You do need to do a lot of reflection in your life when it comes to the amount of work that you need to do, or the amount of relationship that you have with your work itself, or how or even your studies and how you are studying. See, my cat is making a cameo right now. So like the amount of work that you are doing, the amount of studying that you are doing, I think it asks you to reflect on all of those things. And before you can actually decide what is the next thing that will be best for you. So I think there is definitely a message of, I don't want to use the word isolation because I don't want you to completely withdraw from potential help that can come your way. But there is, I think, trying to remove yourself from being like relying too much on external things, because a lot of your strengths are actually already in you, and you just need to be able to look inwards and pull it out and use that strength, or use that inner guidance to help you through the month in terms of your studies and or career. So that is an advice for you that I'm seeing for your career and studies, or both. So allow yourself to look inwards a little bit. Take some time to reflect on what you're studying, on what you're working on, and see that if your behavior towards your work is healthy, if your behavior towards your study is healthy or not, and see that how you can actually find that inner strength yourself, how you can actually allow yourself to improve this yourself and not relying too much on external things that might that it might help, but it doesn't help long term, or it doesn't completely help fully, because a lot of the things actually that you need comes from within you. So I think that is something that you need to do. Now let's look at your spiritual growth. So for the month of February, for group 2, what is the message, advice, or reminder for their spiritual growth? Okay, I have 2 cards and I feel called to take both of it. So you have the 5 of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of swords energy here. So I think there's a lot of mental thing. I think my cat agrees. So I feel like this is the current energy, this 5 of Swords. So I feel like you are feeling, it could be defeated, but it could also be that just feeling lost, or just feeling like feeling hopeless in a way. Like you're feeling like, what's the point, kind of, and like that's what I'm hearing in my head right now. Like, what's the point? Because you feel like no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, it's always the same outcome. It's always the same thing. It's always the same shit over and over again. And I think you're just tired of it. And you feel like I feel like this is the obstacle and this is you. And you feel like no matter how hard you try, you can never get past this obstacle. And I feel like, oh, I just want to get to my guides. I just want to get to my guides. But at the same time, there's this obstacle here that's blocking you from your guide, or blocking you from your intuition. And I think this could be your mental health. You could be suffering from depression, you could be suffering from anxiety, you could be suffering from, I'm hearing imposter syndrome in my head, or just self-esteem issues. But I feel like there is that energy of just, this is pointless, or this is hopeless, or I am hopeless, kind of energy. And all you want is to just get to that guide. All you want is just to be able to reach that guide. But at the same time, you feel like, I can't get there. It's just, I can never get there. So I feel like, because I tried so many ways, I tried so many different methods, I tried all of the possible things that I read or watch on videos or listen other people say, and I took all of their advice, and for some reason it's still the same outcome every single time. So what's the point? So I'm hearing that sort of mentality, that sort of energy. And I think that the advice for you is this Ace of Swords. Okay, I feel like it's about gaining a new perspective, because you can see that behind this sword, there's all of these webs of ropes that got tangled up. And I feel like this is your thoughts right now. You are like so clustered with all of these thoughts of like, I can never get past this. And I feel like what the advice here right now is to find your mental sword and cut through all of this tangled rope, and remove all of this self-limiting belief. Like, I know I understand that it's challenging, and it might feel hopeless at some point, and you're feeling like I can never make things better, or I can never get there. I don't know how. I tried everything and it just doesn't work. But I think like there's that message of like, the reason why it haven't worked so far is because you haven't learned the lesson completely. And I think what they're saying is that, well, first thing that they're saying is don't give up in your spiritual growth, and be a bit more objective to what exactly that it is, the lesson that you need to learn. Because you're not, like, the universe is not out there purposely trying to make you miserable. Like, sometimes you are put in the same situation over and over and over again is because you are still learning that same lesson. Maybe because you haven't learned that one lesson in a way that you need to learn it, like you haven't completely understand that lesson that can serve you to your highest good. So because of that, you are put in that lesson again and again and again and again and again until you can get it. So I feel like this is the kind of like loop that you're stuck in right now. And I think like you are reaching a point where you feel like, I cannot do this, I cannot get past this stage. You know, like when you play a game and you're stuck at that one level, like you try it like 20 times and it's still like game over every single time, and you try it again and it still fail, and you just feel like, oh my god, I'm never going to get past this level, I just want to quit. I feel like there's the energy that you're in right now with your spirituality, because you're just like, I don't know what else to do, because no matter how much I try, it's always the same thing over and over and over again. I can never understand what it is that I need to learn. So I feel like that's the energy that you're in. And trust me, I completely understand that reason, because I'm actually in sort of similar situation in some aspect of my life, where I'm always constantly being put in the same thing over and over again, because I just can never get it right, or I can never completely get it right, because I always end up falling back to the old energy. And it's frustrating. Like it really is. It does sometimes make me feel defeated, because it's like, will I ever learn this? But I think the message here is that yes, you can. And I feel like for some reason, this is a message, like a reminder for me too. It's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You just need to gain a slightly different perspective, like a slightly fresh perspective, to just cut out all of this cluttered mind, or all this tangled ropes here that is clouding your judgment a little bit. And I think that, or the very thoughts that's making you feel defeated, like self-defeating beliefs. So I think that you are being asked to cut out all of those thoughts, because they are not serving you to your highest good, and it's going to slow down your progress a lot more. So I think for the month of February, your energy or your focus should still be finding your inner strength, finding your inner beauty. Look inwards, listen to your intuition to gain some mental clarity. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to be easy, especially if you've been stuck in the same loop over and over again, and you're just kind of like, I don't know what else that I can do. But I think that there is this message of like, don't give up. Look inwards and find that inner strength. Look at your inner power, believe in that inner power. And I think once you are able to see your inner power, I think you will be able to realize that how much strength you already have, that you can actually just cut out all of the ropes. You know what? I feel called to read the description for this goddess Amaterasu, because I think there's a message in here that will be very useful for you. Okay, so that is Amaterasu. Okay, so Amaterasu, origin Shinto. Drawing this card means finding your own inner beauty and shining it into the world. Like the Japanese goddess Amaterasu, if you've been disappointed or discouraged, look within yourself for the light you need to go forward. Yeah, I think that is what you need to do, is that light that you need to find in order to move forward is this Ace of Swords, basically. So this Ace of Swords doesn't come from another person. It's actually come from within you. And I think this, for month of February, this is what you need to look for. This is what you need to find in order to basically get out of this Five of Swords energy. Okay, so in order to move out from this Five of Swords energy, you just have to get into this or find this Ace of Swords energy that is already within you. And then from there, you just cut out all of these thoughts that is not serving you to your highest good, and just slowing down your progress a lot more. So there is that message over there for your spiritual growth. So don't give up, okay? Look inwards and find that inner light that you need to move forward. All right, so for the last aspect of your life that I'm going to take advice message reminder for February will be your well-being. So this could be mental well-being, spiritual well-being, or even sorry, not spiritual well-being, sorry, mental, emotional, or physical well-being. So for group 2, what is the message, reminder, or advice for them? So you have the Fool. I'm hearing whenever I see this Fool, I kind of like think of the like taking leap of faith. That's, I don't know why this is not focusing. Why is it not focusing? It's very blue. There you go. So this, I feel like a beauty guru right now for doing this. But the Fool card for me, it's just taking a leap of faith. Most of the time, that's what it reminds me of. However, for this particular deck with this mermaid looking at this castle, I feel like there is something that you are longing for. I feel like there's a goal, a certain goal. It could be a fitness goal. It could be a mental goal. It could be an emotional goal that you're trying to get. So fitness goal could be that, oh, I want to do yoga every day, or I want to go to the gym a few times a day. Sorry, not a few times a day. That's too much. A few times a week. Or there might be like, I want to start journaling, or I wish I can journal, or I wish I can meditate every day. So I feel like there's that longing of wanting to do something for your mental, emotional, and or physical well-being. And I think for the month of February, this is what you need to move towards. Like, stop just wishing for it. Like if you just wish for it, it's not going to take you there. It doesn't work like that. You wish for it, yes, take it as an aim, take it as a goal, and then you work yourself towards that goal. You don't just make a wish and then just sit there and hope for a miracle to happen and not do any work, because that's not how manifestation works. Okay, you set the intention and you take the necessary actions to go towards that direction. So if you want to start journaling, then you better make sure that you separate a time in like a day in your life, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Do that. If you, let's say you want to go to the gym, make sure you find a time. Make sure even if it's just once a week, and even if it's just half an hour, like half an hour in a week, like, because that's the only time that you have, fine, at least that's a start. You can't expect to start something and expect to have the exact same result as someone that has been doing it for months or years. You can't do that. It's not fair to you, because that's unrealistic expectation. You need to start small first. You can't compare yourself, especially if you haven't started yet at all. You can't compare yourself to people that have done it for many years or many months. Okay, you have to start. You have to take the first step somehow. So if there is a goal that you are aiming to get in your life, in this month of February, the advice is to go for it. Don't just sit there and wishing like, oh, I wish I can do that. You know, just take the necessary step, even if it's just 5 minutes, even if it's just one small thing. As long as it's something that you aim for, then it's a start. That's the advice here. It's a start. That's what you need to do. Just start, even if it's just something that's very small, but you need to start. Because if you don't start, then you're just going to keep on wishing for it, and it's just never going to happen. So if you want it, you have to start taking action towards it. So that is the advice in terms of your well-being. So those are kind of like the areas of your life in February, the advice and messages and reminders for you. Before we finish off the reading, I'm going to pull out 2 more cards from Oracle deck, from 2 different Oracle decks. So the first one, so you could take this as like final advice, final reminder for the month of February, just to kind of like tie everything up. So the first one I'm going to be pulling out from this Oracle Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. So let's see, for group 2, what is the final message or advice or reminder that they need to hear for the month of February? Now, this message could relate to anything that we have talked about throughout the reading, or it could be something different completely. So for group 2, what is that final message that they need to hear? What is something that could serve them well? Oop, okay, something is falling out. I'm going to take that. All right. Impasse. So this is kind of like, it's interesting because I put the impasse on top of the relationship and career or studies aspect of your life. Impasse is basically, it's kind of like you are being redirected, isn't it? Like you're being redirected, you are being asked to take a slightly different path. And I think it probably relates more to your relationship where you're being asked to take things slower. So maybe it's like, oh, this is the impasse. Take a slightly longer journey to see which relationship is actually going to be good for you. So each card in this deck actually have a story, and I feel called to read the story for impasse to you so that you can get more context about the message. So impasse, Reggie Russ. This path is obstructed, reroute. Okay, so the story is Reggie Russ is a guardian angel. One day, two friends, Clem and Craig, are dismayed to discover Reggie blocking their path through the mountains with no way to get around him. Wondering why Reggie wanted to stop them and not daring to try to pass, they take another route. Reggie then moves on, having protected Clem and Craig from a landslide ahead that would have claimed their life. So this is a reroute, not an ending. The path is blocked and you are at an impasse, but the goal is still there. Do not wait for your present situation to change. Stay focused and find another path. You know what? Apart from the relationship, I also feel called that it is also relating to your well-being. So I feel like stop waiting for things to happen. And if you need to take a slightly longer way to get there, then do it. Okay, so, and it's the same thing for the relationship as well as actually it can be applied to everything, like spirituality. Like you might not like where you are right now because you feel like stuck, like no matter what you do, it's still the same lesson over and over again. Maybe because there's something else that you need to learn as well, and you just need to open your mind enough to be able to find that the other lesson that you need to learn, find that inner strength or the inner light to find that lesson that you need to learn, and look for. And it's the same thing for like looking inwards for your career and your studies and find what area is not working and take a different path from there. So being rerouted in the month of February is probably something that you need to keep in mind whenever things don't go your way. Whenever things are going, like it's a bit difficult. Whenever you kind of like, oh, why does this happen? Why me? You know, like every time you have that, I think the message here is like it happened for a reason. You are being rerouted because that particular path that you want to go might not actually be the best for you. So your spirit guides and your higher self, or even the universe, is trying to divinely guide you to a different way so that you can get what you want, but in a more meaningful way. So I think that's the message here for you for this particular card, especially for this month. So I think like that is something that you need to keep in mind for the month of February. Now, finally, before we finish off your reading, there's one more card that I want to pull, and this will be the final message for this February reading for you, group 2. So for group 2, what is the final message that they need to hear, or advice or reminder that they need to hear, that they can keep in mind for the month of February? So what do they need to hear for the month of February? Oops. Oh, I feel called to take that one, so I'm going to take it. Space. Okay, let me read it for you. Space space. This is your permission slip to free some space in your schedule and dial your brain buzz down to like an 8 versus 11. Making space can mean lots of things. Rest, daydreams, Colombian mud bath, but no matter your preferred space flavor, giving yourself a little more air will help make room for a fresher flow. Doing some light decluttering or scorched earth level purging also works magic. Either way, it's time to take a beat, empty your mind, float in a puff of nothingness, and reset those artistic buttons. Just be sure not to track any Colombian muds in the house, unless you're going to make some cool pottery out of it. Yeah. And it's interesting because this is orange and this is orange as well. So I think there might also be a message of focusing on your sacral chakra for the month of February. Because it is the color of the sacral chakra. So you can pause the video. Wait, am I focusing? Yeah. So you can pause the video if you want to read that. But yeah, sacral chakra might be something that you need to look into. Oh, and look, you chose Carnelian as well, which is also the kind of like sacral chakra. So I just noticed that. So it might be something that like an area of your well-being that you need to focus on, your sacral chakras. Might be worth meditating on it or listen to any sound healing thing that can help you with sacral chakra healing or balancing. So finding space, I think this again ties in with everything. So don't feel too defeated, like especially when you start to feel like you're not making progress, especially when you feel like I'm not doing good enough, especially when you start to feel like, why is this happening to me? Especially when you start to doing that, especially when you feel like you're stop listening to your intuition or you start listening to your spirit guide and higher self. I think that is where you put this space message in your head where, all right, I'm going to take some me time, whatever that means to you. It could be watch an episode of something, it could be taking a bath, it could be taking a walk, it could just be something as simple as just cuddling with your pet, you know. So whatever that means to you, make sure that you make time, you make that time for yourself when you need it, whenever you need it, wherever you need it. Make sure that in whatever way that it can help you, make sure you do that for yourself. So I think this is very important for you, and I think this is a very important message for you to keep in mind throughout the whole month of February. All right, group 2, that is all the message that I have for you. I hope some of the messages here resonate, if not most of it. If you know anyone that could benefit from this reading, do share this video with them. I will appreciate it a lot. If you have anything to add from this, you can always write it in a comment. I look forward to read it. If you like this video, then do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos from me, then do consider subscribing to the channel. And I wish you all the best for the month of February. I really hope that you find that inner light that can help you push through the entire month. Okay, group 2, I wish you all the best in your journey and have a great week. Have a great week ahead. Bye, group 2. Hi, group 3. If you chose this stone, which is the Sodalite stone, then this will be your reading for the month of February. I don't think it's focusing very well. Is it focusing? I feel like a beauty guru for doing this. Okay, so that is a Sodalite stone. So if you chose this stone, then this will be the reading for the month of February. Before we start, I just want to say that this is more about messages and reminders and advice for the month of February and not really predictions. Okay, so it's I'm not going to be telling you what's going to happen because I feel like you have the power to shape your own future. But this is more like advice or that you can keep in mind for the month of February. And another reminder is that this is a general reading. It is not a personal reading, so you might not resonate to every single messages that I have for you in this particular reading. So use your intuition at the end of the day. If your intuition says that that message is for you, then take it. If your intuition say that that message is not for you, then listen to it as well. And other than that, then let's just start a reading. So there's particular 2 cards here that I pre-shuffled in advance because I'm using quite a few a few decks. So to save time, I decided to pre-shuffle the first 2 cards that I'm going to use. Now this is going to represent the overall month. Sorry, not the overall month, the overall energy or advice for the month of February. So the first card that we have is Death. Okay. So this is Death. And I think that is basically about, it's indicating growing. It's indicating that something is ending, like something in your life is coming to an end in order to make way for something better to grow. So I don't know if something has already ended in your life. It could be a relationship, whether it be romantic or platonic, or it could be career. It could be something that, and it, in whatever way that resonates to you. It might already recently just ended. If it does, then if it's something that's difficult, then I'm sorry, this is something that you're going through. You're probably still healing for it. Or it could be something that is coming, that you know it is coming, and it's going to be quite a major theme for February. And I feel like there is allowing something to end in your life that no longer serving you in order for something better to grow in your life. I feel like this is an important energy for you to keep in mind for the month of February. And I think this is a beautiful energy to be in because it shows that there are growth happening in your life and you are allowing that to grow. So I need you to keep that in mind, or at least the message for you here is to keep that in mind for the month of February. And the second message, like a major message for you for the month of February is, I don't know if I will pronounce this right, Nouveau. I don't know how to pronounce this U with the 2 dots here. Nouveau. Sorry. Yeah, but Nouveau with the message creation here at the bottom. So Nouveau is a goddess. She is a Chinese goddess actually, and you can see that she looks like a mermaid. You know, like she has her like this mermaid tail going on over here, even though it's not in the card, but you can see that she's some form of aquatic goddess. And there's a message of creation on this card, so it goes very well with this. I really like so far because in every single pile, this is the third one, in every single pile so far, these 2 cards match really well. So creation. And I feel like once something that is no longer serving you ends, there's going to be a better things that's going to come in that will allow for creation to happen in your life. So it can, in whatever way that resonates with you, but I feel like this is a major theme for you, or a major message for you for the month of February, and something that probably can help you if you keep this in mind. So whatever that happened in your life in February, that you can keep it and you keep this message in mind, I think it will help you in knowing that, okay, this is happening so that something better can take place in my life, so I can make more room for more things to be created in my life. Or it could give you an inspiration to actually make the creation yourself. So this is like the big theme for that I'm seeing for you for the month of February. Now let's moving on to the tarot. So for the tarot part of the reading, I'm going to be looking at 4 aspects of your life. So we're going to be looking at your career, your relationship first. So relationship could be any type of human connection that you have in your life. So it could be your romantic relationship. It could be your relationship with your family, with your friends, with your professional relationship, anything, any human connection that you have in your life. And then we're going to be looking at your career and or studies. So it depends on whether you are working full-time or you are studying full-time or you work and study at the same time. So that is a second area that we're going to be looking at. And then the third area will be your spiritual growth. Like how is the spiritual growth will be like for the month of February. And then the last one will be your well-being. So it could be the mental, emotional, and or physical well-being. So that will be the fourth aspect that we're going to be looking at. I like how I'm doing this with like, I'm like acting it out with my fingers, just, I don't know, because it's like a talking hands. So it just feels nice to do it. But anyway, let's get into the tarot reading now. So we're going to be looking at the first aspect of the reading, which is the relationship. So take it how it resonates, because as I said, it could be for any human connection in your life. It might not be for every single connection in your life though. So it could be like something that's a bit more either general or something that's a bit more major, like among the more important ones, the more important connection in your life. So let's see. For group 3, okay, so for group 3, what is their message, reminder, or advice in terms of their relationship or connection with other people for the month of February? What is, oh my, oh, that is a lot of cards. I am not going to take all of that. I feel called to take this one, but not all of this. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of things that your spirit guides wants to say, but this one stands out the most, so I'm going to take just that. And oh, it's 10 of Cups. Oh, I don't know why it's not focusing. Is it not focusing? I don't know why it's not focusing, but yeah, it's the 10 of Cups. Is it not focusing? Let me try that again. No, no. What if I close all of the other cards? Oh, there you go. So I need to close all of the goddess faces. So, oh no, it lost focus again. All right, never mind. So 10 of Cups, I think this is a very beautiful card to get. So let's say if you are in, let's say if you are in a relationship, okay? So it doesn't matter if you are dating someone or you just started to get serious with someone or you are engaged or married to someone. I feel like this month is a very beautiful month for your romantic relationship. Especially in a sense of moving things forward or just finding a lot of joy from each other or creating a lot of joy, like joyful memories with each other. And I find that a very beautiful month, especially it being the month of Valentine's Day. So maybe you're going to do something very special for this month. You never know. And then if you're not dating, let's say if you are single, I think you might meet someone that can make you feel this way, like that can make you feel very emotionally fulfilled, make you feel very good about yourself in a way, and motivate you to make them feel good about themselves as well. So I feel like there's that healthy connection that you might find in the month of February. Now, in terms of how this can relate to the non-romantic relationships in your life, I feel like a lot of your relationships, or at least the major ones, I feel like this, I think this relates more to more of the more important relationships in your life. So it could be a specific close friends or specific family member that you are very close with. I feel like this is going to be a month where you're going to have a very loving relationship with them. You're going to have a very beautiful memories with them, or you're going to be doing a lot of things that's going to create or bring you joy, or just feel each other's emotional cup and make you just feel very happy in general. I feel like your connections in the month of February is heading towards a very beautiful path, especially for your more important connections. Okay, so if you feel like this relates to your professional connections, it could be that you are building trust. You are building trust with your colleagues or your professional partners or anything like that. Or it could mean that you understand each other not just on a professional level but also on a emotional level, and you understand each other a lot better, and it makes just so much easier to work with them, you know, and all of those things. So you could apply this in any way, but I feel like your connections, your major connections in the month of February is heading towards a healthier energy, or a more loving and understanding and emotionally fulfilling energy. So that is a very beautiful energy to be in for relationship wise, regardless what type of relationship that is. So I'm very pleased to see that, and I'm really hope that you will be able to notice it when it does happen. Now let's look at the next area of your life, which is career and or study. So depending if you are full-time working, full-time studying, or studying and working at the same time. So for group 3, what is the message, reminder, or advice for February? Oh my goodness, your pile is spitting out cards. There's one card over here and it stands out, so I'm going to pick that one. I feel like that's the card that I'm supposed to take, just following my intuition here. What card is this? Ace of Cups. So this is for your, probably need to do the same thing. Need to close the goddess face. So it's probably I feel like February is going to be like a like emotionally healthy month for you. So this is Ace of Cups for your career and studies. It is not focusing. I don't know why. Hello? Hello? Okay. So I feel like whatever that you do or whatever that you're studying, whether you are at a new job, old job, or maybe you just moved to a new position, or maybe you just, if you're studying, you could be like in the middle of a semester, at the start of the semester. I don't know how, maybe terms work differently in different countries or different universities or different colleges or schools. Whatever it is, I feel like you are in an environment that there's going to be a start of something, maybe either a project that you're going to be involved in, or a new task that you're going to be assigned to, that it might not necessarily be easy. There might, I think like there might be some challenges to it, but however, it's going to make you feel emotionally fulfilled. Like whatever whatever that project or task is going to help you gain an understanding that can actually lead you into a path that make you a lot more aware about your emotional needs and how to fill your cups, how to fill this emotional bowl with something that is going to serve you to your highest good. So I feel like that is the overall energy that I'm seeing for your career and your studies. And I think that is beautiful. February is looking to be like a good month for you. And I feel like you just need to be more open towards this idea. Like if, let's say, people ask you to, like, do you want to be part of this project, or are you willing to take on this responsibility or this task? And let's say that you might feel a bit insecure, but at the same time, you know, deep down your intuition is saying that this is going to be good for you. I think there's an advice here of allowing that to happen, because coming back to this two main card that you need to focus on throughout the month, which is death, allowing something to end and new things to grow, and creation is to order to create something in order new things to grow. So if, let's say, you do get an opportunity either in school or at work or both, that maybe you're feeling a bit insecure about it, if you do, but you know deep down your intuition is telling you that this is a great opportunity and this is going to be very good. Like, it might be scary at first, but you're going to learn a lot from this, or you're going to grow a lot from this. I think there's an advice of going for it, allowing that to happen in your life so that better things can grow. And I think even if it's challenging, even if it's scary, even if it's going to feel a little bit overwhelmed, but at the end of the day, this is like the energy that is going to put you in, which is allowing you to understand, like, oh, this is something that's going to be emotionally healthy for me, or make me feel emotionally fulfilled. So I think that is a good energy to be in. So if, let's say, there is an opportunity any kind of opportunity that your intuition is telling you that this is going to be good for you, this is going to serve you really, really well, and this is going to help you grow as a person in terms of either just yourself or in your career line or your studies, then definitely go for it. Listen to your intuition. Don't let your fear stop you from growing. Okay, so I think that's what this death is referring to. Like, if there is that fear or that insecurity, you should let that insecurity or that fear die so that something more emotionally fulfilling can be created and grow and serve you better in your life in the month of February. And that can lead, and I think that will cascade better into March as well. So I think that's the advice that I'm seeing for you for the month of February. You all are having like a really beautiful energy in February. I really like to see that. And then the third one will be your spiritual growth. Okay, so for the month of February, how is group 3's spiritual growth will be like? What's the message or reminder or advice for them in terms of their spiritual growth in the month of February? So in the month of February, okay, so we have the King of Cups. There's a lot of cups. You only have cups so far. And not to forget, this goddess over here is also water because it's a mermaid. So there's a lot of water going on here. So I think it's going to be like quite an emotional month for you. So you have this King of Cups. I'm trying to see if I can get it to focus. So you have this King of Cups over here. So King of Cups for me is someone that is very wise, someone that is very in tune with their emotional side, but at the same time, do not let their emotion influence their decision making or action as well. So they are kind of like keep calm and carry on kind of energy. And I feel like for your spiritual growth, this is not focusing. And I feel like for your spiritual growth, I feel like that is the sort of energy that you are advised to be in as well. Like you have all of these very beautiful, emotionally fulfilling cards for the other two areas of your life. I think that for the month of February, even for your spiritual growth, I feel like there is this message of just trying to be more emotionally wise about your spiritual guidance. So if let's say, I feel called to say that knowing how to differentiate between your anxiety and your intuition, or fear and intuition. I feel like it's about knowing how to differentiate the two and not panic whenever you hear a voice in your head and thinking that every single thing that you hear is your intuition, because not all of them are your intuition, especially if you are someone that suffer from, this is not focusing, especially if you are someone that is suffering from anxiety, for example. Sometimes you might confuse between your anxious thought and your intuition. So I feel like the month of February is for you to find that wisdom, is for you to find that clarity, like emotional clarity, not mental clarity, but just emotional clarity of differentiating between what is your anxiety, what is your insecurity, and which one of it is actually your intuition and message from your higher self and spirit guides. So you can read more about this to educate yourself, or you can watch other spirituality video that teach about this, about how to be more in tune with your intuition, and how to learn to listen to your spirit guide and higher self. But usually if it's something that sounds very overwhelming or fearful or just not a very pleasant feeling, is usually not the intuition, because I feel like intuition is usually have a very calm energy, and it feels like, it feels very, I won't say feels very grounded, but it just feels right kind of energy. Like it doesn't sound panicky. It doesn't sound like everything is going to fall apart. It's usually very calm. At least that's how I find how intuition sounds like and how it's different from anxiety. And I think like that is something that you need to focus on for February. Like that is the energy that you need to find for your spiritual growth, because you are in a beautiful emotional energy for February. You have cups, you have 3 cups. We have 4 areas of life that I'm looking at, and 3 out of 4 is already cups. So it's going to be quite an emotional month for you, but not in a bad way, but it's in a good way. But you have to allow yourself to let that happen, because I feel like there's this reminder here of death, about letting things that no longer serve you to die out. So I'm guessing that you might be naturally an emotional person. That's not a bad thing, because I'm a very emotionally driven person as well. And I know sometimes when we're too emotional, you might end up being a bit too hasty, or jumping into conclusion a bit too soon. So I think there's that for your spiritual growth. I think is as a reminder here of trying to differentiate between which one is guidance from your higher self and spiritual team through your intuition, and which one is just your self-limiting beliefs or your anxious thoughts that comes from your anxiety or negative thinking. So finding or being able to differentiate that, I think, will be something that will be very beneficial for you in the month of February, in order to help you be in a wise energy, emotionally wise energy. And I think that if you can achieve this for your spiritual growth, I think it can help you in other areas in your life as well. So that is a very I think a very important thing. Emotionally, I think that will actually help you a lot to achieve more thing, especially emotionally being fulfilled in the month of February. Now let's look at the 4th aspect, which is the well-being. Now this could be emotional well-being, physical well-being, or mental well-being. So for group 3, what is their message? What is their reminder or advice in terms of their well-being? What do they need to keep in mind for February? Okay, we have another king card over here. So that's the King of Coins. So that's the King of Pentacles. So for Pentacle energy in general, I feel like there's this message of just being wise in a way is one thing, but as you can see that this is a turtle, like a giant turtle with a moon at the back. So I feel like allowing yourself to be I think this ties in with the King of Cups from the spiritual growth, is that allowing yourself to be spiritually guided, to find stability is one thing, and to slow things down in order to gain wisdom is another thing. I feel like in terms of your well-being, mental, emotional, and physical well-being, I think it's about finding the wisdom, finding that very confident, stable energy that can help you like know what you need to do, following your intuition a lot better, knowing when to do something and when not to do something, knowing what is good for you and what is not good for you. I think that is the sort of wisdom that you need in terms of how to improve your well-being in general for the month of February. Maybe I think there's another message here of not rushing into things. Like, don't jump into trends too soon. Like, oh my God, everyone is doing it on TikTok, I have to do it too. Like, try to avoid falling into that FOMO trap, which is fear of missing out. So I think that is the energy that you need to remind yourself not to be in, or the energy that you need to let it die so that better energy can grow. So I think it's just a matter of slowing down a little bit and finding the time to allow yourself to actually figure out what's best for you. So don't be too hasty into jumping into things, or don't be hasty into thinking that, oh, it's all, I need to do this because everyone else is doing it. I feel like it's about removing yourself from falling into that trap, falling into that things like, if you know it's not good for you, but at the same time everyone else is doing it, don't feel pressured into doing it just because you don't want to miss out. Because if you already feel like it's not good for you, then it's probably not that good for you. Listen to your intuition above everything else, because your intuition is usually a message from your higher self or spirit guides that trying to guide you into a better path. So if they are telling you that that is not good for you, and you know why it's not good for you, or you, even if you don't know, you can do your research to find out why it's not good, and follow that, take that advice. Okay, so in general, I think you have a really good month, or you have a really promising energy heading towards you in the month of February. But of course, I always need to bring you back here. In order for this to happen, you have to allow for this to happen, which is, if there is something that no longer serving you, you need to let those energy that's no longer serving you die out, so that something new, something better can come in and be created into your life. And another thing that I feel called to point out is that all of this tarot deck, you see that there's a lot of blue theme in it. There's like blue, there's like a lot of blue colors in it, including for the King of Pentacles as well. And this stone that you chose is also a blue colored stone with the Sodalite. So I think the throat chakra might be something that you want to focus on as well. So like that might be, oh, I just realized I'm wearing blue as well. So the throat chakra might be an area that you want to focus on, that you want to try to heal, that you want to try to balance in the month of February. You might want to communicate more with the throat chakra. So there might be some communication that needs to happen in order to let better things come into your life, so that all of these emotionally fulfilling things can happen in your life. So I encourage you to look more into that. That might be useful for you. There's, before I finish off this reading, there's definitely, I want to do two oracle cards. I want to pull out two oracle cards just as final messages for you, as for the month of February, that you can keep in mind. So this could tie up all of the things that we have spoken about, but it could also be something completely different. Okay, so it's just like additional advice or messages from your spirit guide or higher self for the month of February. So for group 3, what additional messages or advice that would be useful for them in the month of February? So for group 3, what message could be useful for them? Oops, in the month of February. There's one card that fell out. I'm going to take that card. And that is, that is joy. So I think this is a very straightforward card. So when you have joy in your life, I feel like it's reminding you that listen to your, well, I just hear the listen to your heart, that song. And I think, yeah, I think that's the message of just listen to your heart, listen to things that brings you joy, because those joy are the ones that are going to make you feel emotionally fulfilled. And yellow is also the color of solar plexus. If that is relevant, apart from the blue for the throat chakra, solar plexus might also be another chakra that you need to pay attention to. But there's definitely a message of joy here. For the other two piles just now, I actually read the stories of the card, because in this deck, each card has its own story. So since I read the story for the other two cards, I think I'm going to do the same for you as well. So for joy, Dancing Daisy. Let's just jump and see what happens. So the story behind this card is, we don't know much about Dancing Daisy, but we do know that she brings joy whenever she appears. Everyone who sees her becomes happier and more peaceful. Arguments ceases as she comes close. People are even healed physically as a result of her presence. No one knows where she came from, and just before the TV crews arrive, she leaves. So there's that. Dancing Daisy represent a new joyous phase in life and a significant change, such as a move, a new job, or a marriage. This is the moment after the leap. You may not see where you are going, but you will land on your feet. Okay, so I do think that there is a higher purpose in everything that is coming towards your mind, especially with this career and studies with this Ace of Cups and also the Ten of Cups. I feel like there's and there's also this idea of like new things coming into your life from the story. So if we look at death just now, it's about allowing something to end so new thing can happen in your life. So I feel like there is something new that is coming into your life that is going to serve you better, that's going to be better for your highest good. And I think you need to allow it to happen, or you need to let the things that no longer serve you to just die out of your life and allow for better things to come in and believe that things will be better when it comes in. So there is, I think it still fits into the theme. You need to allow for better things to come, allow new things to happen into your life, or new chapter to start in your life, so that new better things can grow into your life. Okay, finally, lastly, I'm going to pull out a card from one more oracle deck just as a final message for you for the month of February. So again, same thing, it could relate to everything that we've talked about, or it could be something completely different. So let's see, for group 3, what is the final message for them that will be useful for the month of February? What is the final message for them for the month of February? What is the final message? Oops, okay. Luck. Luck card. So let me read that. It's here. A package sent straight from the heavens, or dark matter for all you atheists, that's been gifted to you, dear friend, and contains a very cartoonish poof of luck. This magic fairy dust will stick to you for the next few weeks and align whatever unseen forces need aligning to open the creative doors you've been waiting for. Keep your eyes peeled for opportunities, connections, and winks from the universe hinting you are headed in the right direction. So pop on your victory sash, follow the trail of good omens, and don't stop till you get to the after party. Hopefully the cheese fountain will still be going strong. Here, I'll put this here, and if you need to pause and read it, hopefully it focuses, then you can pause to read this. So this is the card luck. I think this ties in very, very well with the rest of your reading. I think this is going to be a very good month for you. But again, I am being called to remind you that this need to happen in order for it to be a good month, because I don't want you to think that just because I say it's going to be a good month and then you're just going to sit there and then wait for good things to happen, because that's not how it works, obviously. There is definitely areas in your life that you need to do in order for all of these great things to happen, for all of these opportunities and joy and these emotionally fulfilling things to happen. I think you need to let go of things that no longer serve you in order for all of this abundance, all of these amazing things to happen. And that is like the work that you need to do. That is the message that I think that you need to do in order to claim all of this at the bottom here, because this too is the major things that you need to keep in mind throughout the month of February. And if you keep that in mind, you will be able to get all of this opportunity, all of this emotionally fulfilling abundance that you're going to get, that's going to bring you a lot of joy. And it's going to be a lot of opportunity that the universe will bring into your life, but you need to remove the energy that no longer serve you, so that you remove any unwanted blockages, so that this abundance can do come into your life. All right, group 3, that is all that I have for you. I am very happy to see about your month of February, and I wish you all the best for this. I hope some of the message here resonates with you, if not most of it. If you know there's anyone that can benefit from this reading, then definitely do share it with them. If you have anything to add about this, then do leave a comment on this video. I look forward to read it. If you have any additional pointers to add or anything about the reading, then do sound it off in the comment as well. If you want to see more videos from me, then do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like it, then do give it a like for this video. So that is all that I have for you. All the best for your month. Is looking very promising, and I hope you will be able to experience all of this. All the best to you in your journey, and I wish you a very great week ahead. Bye, group 3. Hi, group 4. If you chose the Amethyst stone, then this is going to be your reading for the month of February. I feel like a beauty guru for doing this, but this camera is just not focusing. But yeah, this is the Amethyst stone. If you choose the Amethyst, then this is going to be your reading for the month of February. I just want to remind you or inform you that this reading is not a prediction. It's more like advice, messages, and reminders for you to take into the month of February. So I don't really like, I mean, at least in this particular reading, I don't want to do predictions because I feel like you are in charge or you are in control of your own path. So this is more like advice and reminders and messages that you can carry and keep in mind into the month of February. I'm going to be using quite a few decks in this reading. So I pre-shuffled the first 2 decks that I'm going to use just to save time. Now, these 2 cards represent the major energy of the month or the major message or reminder that you need to keep in mind throughout the month of February. Now, the first card is High Priestess. Okay, so this is a High Priestess card. I like there's a lot of purple on this High Priestess because it matches the amethyst that you chose. And also the High Priestess energy as well is a very spiritual card. It's also a very divine feminine card. So I feel like for the month of February, it's a month where maybe it's a good idea to be in tune with your divine feminine energy, to be more in tune with your intuition, to listen to your higher self a lot better, to just possibly educate yourself better about the spiritual side as well, about following your intuition and knowing, having a little bit more insight about messages from your guides and all of those things. So this is like a major energy that you can keep in mind throughout the month of February. The second major energy that you need to keep in mind is Hina Courage. I like that this is purple as well because now it's just following the theme of the amethyst over here and as well as here, as well as this High Priestess card. And at the bottom here, you see the word courage. So I feel like Hina is a goddess, a Polynesian, I hope I pronounced that right, Polynesian goddess. Is a moon goddess. So again, moon kind of like represent the spiritual realm as well, isn't it? Like spiritual realm, being intuitive, the divine feminine energy as well. So I feel like the month of February is really calling you to be intuitive, to be more in tune with your feminine side. Doesn't matter what is your gender or what gender you identify as. Everyone has masculine and feminine energy in them. So it's the yin and yang of life. So I feel like I think it's the yin energy that you need to have more focus on this month with your spirituality, with your intuition, just to be more divinely guided throughout the month and have more courage throughout whatever changes that is happening into your life. To some of you, you might have some major changes happening coming up. Like you might know it or you might not know it. It might be something that you are already expecting or it might come as a surprise. But to some of you, there might be some major changes that is or major shifts that is happening in your life, and it will require a lot of courage and intuition coming from you in order for you to be able to get through all of this change, and not feel too overwhelmed by it. So that is the major energy of the month, like the major message for you for the month of February that you can keep in mind. And as I read through all of the tarot, I will be keeping these messages in mind as well to remind you like that aspect of your life. So for your tarot, we're going to be looking into 4 aspects of your life. We will be looking into your relationship. It could be romantic relationship or platonic relationship. So if you are in a relationship or you're married or anything like that, it could apply to that. Or it could be your platonic relationship with your friends or your colleagues. It could be even with family. So it could be any human connection that you have in your life. So this is what that first area of life that we'll be looking at. And then the second area of life that we'll be looking into is your career and study. So it could be, if you are working full-time, then it will be your career. If you're a student full-time, then it will be your studies. To some of you, you might be working and studying at the same time. So then maybe there's message for both areas. And then the third part of the tarot will be for your spiritual growth. Like in terms of the month of February, what are any significant messages or reminders for your spiritual growth, spiritual journey? And then the last aspect of the reading will be for your well-being. It could be your mental, emotional, or physical well-being as well. So that could be something relevant or something significant for February. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is your relationship, okay, your human connection. So for group 4, oh, that is very fast. There's Hangman. That came out immediately. Like there's like this very strong message of like pause a little bit. So I think there is a message of taking a step back. Maybe not to all connection, because I don't want you to be I don't want you to withdraw yourself from your social life immediately or completely, but I think some significant relationship in your life might, like, you might need to take a break from it. There might be a few connections in your life that is a bit trouble at the moment, or are going through some difficult phase. And I think there's a message here for you to take a break, and not to take a break like, you know, like friends like Ross was saying, we were on a break. Like, it's not that. It's more like taking time to reflect on what is going on, because maybe you've been too overwhelmed by everything that is happening that you never actually get to hit the pause button to just reflect on what happened, on how it happened, and what to do from that point. So I think there's a message and advice for you here to just hit that pause button and allow yourself to just meditate on this and reflect on what happened, and just find the courage, okay? Find the courage and be spiritually guided as well. Be divinely guided and spiritually guided in order to understand what is going on here, like what is going on with a few connection that is going through some phase, like some difficult phase in your life right now, and try to figure out how can I move on from this. Is there still hope? If there is still hope, what do I need to do to improve it? Like, what sort of thing that I need to communicate in order to or actions that I need to take in order to improve the situation in a healthy way. So I think there is a message here for you to just take a step back, okay? Hit the pause button and take a step back and actually do some reflection and allow yourself to be divinely guided. So I think it comes back to this 2 card of having the courage to go through whatever shifts that is going on in your life right now, and to be very intuitive for this. And in order, especially if you feel like you're not an intuitive person, this is even more important to take this pause to just meditate on it and allow yourself to know how your intuition sounds like, because that is usually your spirit guides and your higher self is trying to communicate with you. So I think you need to allow yourself to be divinely guided here, and to do that you need to hit that pause button so that you can reflect on the situation. So I'm seeing that for your connection in general, so it could be with your romantic partner, it could be with your family, one of your family members, it could be with one of your colleagues or professional partner, it could be with your friends, you know, so anyone that you feel this is significant, like this message will be significant with. I think it's with someone that in your life that maybe you are going through a little bit of a challenging phase with them, that maybe there's been a lot of miscommunication lately or misunderstanding lately, and you're just getting frustrated with this situation with them. So I feel like there's this message of just like, okay, let's just take a pause and let's reflect on what happened and allow yourself to be guided on what to do next. Okay, so there is that message for your connection. Now I'm going to move on to your career and or studies. Okay, so let's see for group 4, what is the message for or reminder or advice that will be useful in their career or studies for the month of February? So what will that be? Okay, so like this card is coming up. So yep, I'm going to take that one. So there's 7 of Swords here. Okay, so I feel like there's that feels like dishonesty, like that's the word that I'm hearing. Maybe you feel like it could be either you not being honest with someone or someone's not being honest with you, because if you look at this card, you can see that I don't know if this is a coyote or a fox, or a wolf, sorry, might be a coyote actually, I have no idea. But you can see there's a shadow here of someone's that smiling in a not very friendly way, like this, that whoever that is smiling is definitely don't have good intention. And if you notice is that shadow looks like it comes from the coyote itself, isn't it? Because you can see that the shadow kind of like starts from its paw over here and then goes up to the stone. So it looks like it comes from the coyote itself. So you might feel like someone is not being honest with you. You might feel like, oh, someone is not being truthful with you, or you feel like whatever that I'm dealing with right now with my studies or work or both, you feel like something doesn't quite add up. It's like something feels off. And I think it's calling me back to point you to this. But I'm going to take a clarifying card for the 7 of Swords just to get a bit more information so we can see what else that you need to know. So for this 7 of Swords, can we get a clarifying card for the 7 of Swords? So there's the 9 of Cups. So I feel like the energy of 9 of Cups is not from you, but I think it's from someone else in your life, someone else in your university or your college or your workplace or both. I feel like there's this energy, like whoever this 9 of Cups is, you feel like there is something about this 9 of Cups person that just doesn't feel real or anything like that. So 9 of Cups is someone that is, I think, I'm hearing the word emotionally playful in my head, but it just could be someone that is a bit of a someone that is very likable in a way, emotionally likable, like they have the ability to just like draw people to them, kind of like, ooh, I really like to be around this person. They have this confident energy about them that make them because of their charisma is one thing, but they just seem to be able to get people emotionally. But I think like for some reason you feel off with this person. For whatever reason, it could be different for every one of you. It could be like the reasoning behind this could be different for everyone out there that's watching this pile. But there's definitely like an off energy, like you feel something's not right. Like whoever this Knight of Cup is in your life, it doesn't matter what is the gender of this Knight of Cup, but you just feel like this energy that everyone seems to like. I don't like this person. It's just, at least that's what I'm hearing in my head. Like everyone likes this person, but I don't. And it's just because that there's something about this energy that you just feels is not true. Like you feel like there's something that's fake about this, and you might be an empath, or you might just be someone that is very sensitive towards other people's energy, and it could be because you are in tune with your spiritual energy, so you picks up energy quite a lot, and you are following your intuition quite a lot, so you picks up this energy and you kind of like, something is off here. I like, but everyone likes them, and I don't know if I should feel the same way, but I just don't feel the same way. So whoever this Knight of Cup is, I feel like you feel like this person is not being truthful, or not, or just not being authentic. But at the same time, I think that there is a message that don't let it bother you too much. I feel like there's a message here for you. It might not be, it might be for all of you or might not, but I think there's a message of like, don't let that energy bother you. Listen to your intuition. Most of the time your intuition is correct, even though it feels like it's against what everyone else think, but usually your intuition is correct. If you feel like something is off with the energy, then that's probably it. It doesn't mean that this person is a bad person. It just means that their energy is not in alignment with yours. And sometimes that happen, sometimes that happen. We don't, it's just normal that we don't vibe with everyone that we meet. Okay, so and there's nothing evil about that, and there's nothing bad about that. It's just human, I think. So listen to your intuition. Okay, coming back to this, listen to your intuition, because that is a major message for you. Have the courage to actually trust your intuition. And I think that you're right, but at the same time, there's also a message saying that don't let it bother you, because it's just them. It's just them. It's like they're not evil, they're not a bad person, it's just who they are. Like if you don't vibe with them, then it's fine. Just be professional about it. Just be professional about it. Just do what you got to do, but don't let it cloud your judgment. Okay, like they might not be authentic, like they might be quite fake. You might feel them to be quite fake, but they might be reliable professionally, as in they can get the work done. So I think there's a message here, like don't let how you feel with the Seven of Swords cloud you from their ability to get the job done professionally. So I think there's a message here of be professional. Don't let don't let this energy that you're feeling coming from them stop you from being able to work with them if you need to. So I think that's important to you when it comes to your study. So it could be someone that you work with, or it could be someone that you have to do school project with, so you might just feel like there's very difficult for me to vibe with this person because the energy just doesn't feel authentic. And listen to your intuition. Your intuition is right, but at the same time, that person is not evil. They're not a bad person. They're just not being authentic, and that's, some people are like that, so it's fine. Don't let it cloud your judgment from the professional aspect of the relationship. So I think there's definitely a message for you to just keep it professional. Okay, so in terms of your career and in terms of your studies, keep things professional. Okay, listen to your intuition. Yes, listen to your intuition, but just don't let it cloud your judgment a little bit when it comes to your colleagues or your classmates, you know. So keep things professional and everything will be fine. And let's look at the third aspect, which is your spiritual growth. So for group 4, what message or reminder or advice on their spiritual growth that will be good for them to keep in mind for the month of February? So what message do you have for their spiritual growth in February? I feel called to take this one, so I'm going to take this. And that is strength. And I think this ties in very well. Oh my God, it's not focusing. And I feel like it ties in very, very well with these 2 cards that we have here with the High Priestess and Hina Courage. I feel like it's telling you to find that inner strength. I feel like it's telling you to look within. See, it even comes back in with the relationship with the Hangman, which is to take a pause and look within and reflect. I feel like in terms of your spiritual growth, there's a lot of message here about looking for that inner strength, about finding that inner strength and that courage as well to help guide you through how your spiritual journey. It doesn't matter if you are spiritual in a sense of, you know, like higher self, spirit guides, or you believe in a specific religion or anything like that. It really doesn't matter, because I do look at all of them as being spirituality. So finding that strength, that inner strength from within to help you to be divinely guided throughout your spiritual journey, especially with this 2 card being here. I feel like there's a strong message for you for February to be intuitive. There's a strong message for you to find that light from within, to pay attention to the divine feminine energy, to find that strength from the divine feminine energy, and just move forward from there and allow yourself to be guided into that direction and get better at it and get stronger with your divine feminine energy. So I think it's a very straightforward message, because you might feel tired or you might doubt yourself when it comes to your spiritual journey. But I think there's a lot of message here for you to just be spiritually guided, or to just allow yourself to be spiritually guided and have a little bit of faith in the divine guidance that you receive from both your higher self and your spirit guides. So the message for your higher self, from your higher self and your spirit guide, is that you have the strength, or the strength is already in you. It's just that maybe sometimes you didn't notice it. Maybe you didn't notice it because you are overwhelmed by other aspects of your life. So I think that's that message of like, don't lose sight of that strength. Allow yourself to take a little bit of a pause moment to find that strength again whenever you feel like you lost it. And then after that, hold on to it, and then and allow it to help you to push you forward, especially towards difficult things or towards the down moments of the month. So I think that can help you a lot in terms of growing even more spiritually throughout the month of February. Now from there, we have the well-being. So the well-being could be physical, could be mental, could be emotional. So for group 4, what is the emotion, what is the message for their well-being? Oh, there's a few cards that's already flipped itself. So there's 2 cards, and I think I'm going to take both of them. So there is Temperance and 9 of Wands. So in terms of mental and emotional, as well as could be even physical, I guess, depends on it resonate or not with you. You could have gone through a lot of difficult things in your life when it comes to your well-being. Like there might have been a lot of challenge that you have to face in your life. So I feel like there is that message of like you're still here standing. So it's kind of like telling that you have a lot of strength in you. Coming back to the spirituality, you have a lot of courage as well in you, that you have faced all of these difficult things and you're still standing and you're still moving forward. And I think that that is, I think, a very beautiful thing. And I think your spirit guide and your higher self is telling you what a great job you have done so far. Give yourself a lot of credits for that, because you do that. That's your power, that's you. And there's another message of temperance here. So this is a very, again, this is a very deep, it's not focusing. It's a very divine being in this card particular. So this being as well, this spiritual being also looks very balanced, looks very like in a very zen mode, very calm, very, I would say, very in tune to everything around her, because you can see that there's a lot of hands, and every hand is holding like lotus, which is also a symbol of like has a very spiritual symbol as well. And then there's definitely a lot of like bows and arrows, so I feel like there's a lot of strength there, and some jewelry as well. So there's like a lot of things that you have received, a lot of things that you have learned throughout all of the difficult things that you have gone through in your life. So I think that for the month of February, there is this message of using all of the lessons that you have learned, using it to find balance, using all of the wisdom that you have gained to find balance on what works for you and what doesn't, or what don't work for you. So again, this being is very spiritual, is very divine being. And I think it leads back to the major message of the month, which is the High Priestess and Hina, courage. So I think there is this message of just being allowing yourself to use all of the lessons that you have learned, all of the difficulties that you have faced when it comes to that you have faced when it comes to your mental well-being, emotional well-being, and physical well-being that you have faced in your life before, and use that as a fuel for you to move forward and find balance and just be more in tune with your intuition on what is the best thing for you. Okay, rather than trying to take what other people have to say, try to use the wisdom that you have gained and use that to guide you on what is best for you for the month of February. So you have gained a lot of strength. So coming back to this as well, you have gained a lot of strength, you have gained a lot of, like, you might have a lot of battle scars, but those scars is, you know, all of the lessons that you have learned, you're still standing. So it means that you are a very strong person, you are resilient, and that is amazing. And use all of those lessons, use all of those experience that you have gained in your life to keep push you forward in life, to help you find balance in your well-being, and just make sure that you are able to focus on things that can actually serve you to your highest good. Okay. All right. Before we end the reading, I'm just going to take a couple more messages from Oracle decks. So this could be like final messages for the month of February. So I'm going to take one card from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. So for group 4, what are final messages for them for the month of February? It could relate to anything that we have that I have said so far, or it could be something different altogether. So for group 4, what final messages do they need to hear for the month of February? What final messages do they need to hear for the month of February? one card that fell out. Is this card? Trickery. I feel like it's relates to, I feel like this message is relating quite well with the connect or the relationship part and the career and studies areas of your life. For all of the other piles just now, I've read the story for each of the card, because each card in this deck has a story and it has a very good message. And I just feel like since I've read for all of the previous three pile, I just want to read it for you as well. So trickery, Kelly the Green Dragon. The tempter is as guilty as the thief. Kelly the Green Dragon has one jumbo-sized acorn to get him through winter. Squirrel spies the huge acorn and decides he just has to have it to win the forest annual acorn contest. To tempt Kelly, he fills a basket with rocks and scattered the tiny acorn he has collected on top. Kelly feels the weight of the basket and steals it, allowing Squirrel to grab the single acorn. But they both lose. Kelly now has less food and Squirrel is disqualified from the contest for cheating. During trying times, things may be easier if you ask for help. Don't be disappointed if assistance does not come from the place you expect. So there's definitely a message here. I think it's probably more towards this side of the relationship and the career side. It also could be here, like taking the lessons that you have learned in the past and knowing that there's like a message of don't take shortcuts here, like don't steal or don't cheat, because that's kind of like taking shortcuts. Like, you know how on TikTok or Instagram there's this trend of going, like people posting a video and then they say let's skip to the good part, and then it just go to like the good part. But there's also like a joke that people make, like, no, you don't skip to the good part, you have to go through the difficult part in order to get to the good part. And I think like there's that message here, like as in there's no shortcut. Like you can't trick yourself into a better place by taking shortcuts, because most of the time that's not going to, even if it does take you to a better place, it's going to be very, very short term, and it's going to fall apart very, very easily. So I think there's the message here that be patient, be very patient. Think good things does take time, and sometimes solid things, solid, stable, sustaining thing takes time to grow. And I think there's a message here of don't try to cheat your way out of whatever situation that you're in. Do the right thing. Doing the right thing and doing the easy thing are two completely different things. Okay, so I think there's a message here of doing the right thing, and sometimes it's about not cheating your way in life, and just have the patience of going through whatever that you need to go through in order to have a more fulfilling result at the end of it. So I think that is a very important message, and I think it ties in very well, especially with the idea of allowing yourself to be spiritually guided, listening to your intuition, and have courage to go through all of the shifts that you need, rather than tricking your way out of it just so that you can escape this. So definitely take the long way, do the right thing rather than doing what's easy, okay? Because it's two different things. So I think that message is very important for you to keep in mind throughout the month of February. Now I'm going to finish the reading off with one more card. So this will be the final message for you for the month of February. So for group 4, what is their final message for the month of February? What is the final message for the month of February? What do they need to hear? What is something that can help them in the month of February? Okay, I feel called to pull this one, so I'm going to pull this one. And let's see what it is. Forgiveness. I'm going to read this first, then I'll show you the card. Forgiveness, it's okay. I forgive myself unconditionally for any and all shortcomings, imperfection, foibles, I don't know if I pronounced that right, foibles, fumbles, flops, or failures of my present, past, and chances are, to be honest, future. I might not be perfect, but I am a perfect being, and I will continue to be perfectly imperfect with all the joy and acceptance I can possibly muster. Giddy up. So here is the message. So if you need to pause it, I hope it focuses. So if you need to pause and read this, then that is the message for you. And I think this is a very beautiful message. I don't think I have to elaborate on that. And I think it brings so much into the well-being. For some reason, I feel like it ties up to your well-being. And I think to a lot of you watching this file, I think that's exactly what you need to hear. I feel like that's what you need to hear. And that's what you've been waiting to hear. I think like you've been waiting for someone to tell you that it's okay. You can forgive yourself, that you're not perfect, but you are a perfect being. You are perfectly imperfect, and that is perfect. And and you just and humans make mistake. Like every human make mistake, regardless who you are, regardless how rich or how poor or how powerful or how not powerful you are. It really doesn't matter. As long as you are human, you will make mistake. And at the end of the day, what different like what makes a difference between one person to another person is the ability to forgive themselves and move on from that mistake. And I feel that ties in very well with your well-being, the well-being aspect, which is that you have been through a lot of difficult things in your life, and it's not easy. You have a lot of scars to show it, but it's not your fault. Like, yes, maybe some of them, probably yes, like you feel bad, like maybe you caused something bad to happen, but you can learn from it and you can grow from it, but you don't let it define you. You just have to forgive yourself and know that you still can accept yourself and improve. Have the courage to go through the shift and be a better version of yourself. And I like that the forgiveness card is also purple, even though it's like a slightly lighter purple, but it blends in very well with this two major card as well. And I think it's telling you that this is also a very major message that you need to keep in mind for the whole month of February. All right, group 4, that is all the message that I have for you. I wish you all the best for the month of February. I think you are going through some, like you have been through some challenging things in your life, and I think things are looking up, and I wish you all the best for it. I hope you resonate to some of the messages, if not all of the messages. If you know there are someone that can benefit from this reading, then definitely share this video with them. If you think that you have more to add, do put it in the comment. I look forward to read it. If you like this video, then do give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear or watch more video from me, then do consider subscribing to this channel. All right, group 4. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best in your journey, and I wish you a great week ahead. Bye, group 4.